Now, introducing Spencer Paloka, class of 2024, born in 2006, has been in the video production industry, the podcast era, all since birth. He is here today to debate his topic. Now, introducing Alsir Al-Sheikh, born in 2006, class of 2024, has been in the video production era since 2006 himself, was born into the video acting industry. He's going to be talking about his debate today.
Yeah! Introducing Jalen Brown, tonight's narrator for the debate, narrating since birth. And no, not the basketball player.
On August 6th and 9th, 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Respectfully.
How do you
During-
drop a bomb respectfully? Continue, narrator.
During World War II, the bombings led to the immediate deaths of over 100,000 people,
My people.
with the total number of casualties reaching up to 250,000. While some argue that the
What?
bombings were necessary to end the war quickly and save lives, others contend that it was a war crime.
They didn't even debate it. They just dropped a nuke and
Can
killed.
we keep controversy topics off until the intro is over, please?
I suppose, narrator.
Calm down, Buster.
Others contend that it was a war crime and a violation of international law. In this debate, we will explore both sides of the argument and examine primary sources that support each perspective. The argument in favor of dropping the atomic bombs.
Alright. So, the bombs literally saved American lives. According to President Harry Truman's speech, the invasion of Japan would have a cost of estimated of 500,000 American
That's
lives.
bogus. That's American politics attempting to convince the citizens that dropping a nuke and killing 100,000 civilians was justified. You know that, and I know that, and the people in their
whatever.
graves right now know that.
Whatever.
R.I.P.
The use of the atomic bombs is a way to end the war quickly and prevent a further loss of lives.
A further loss of life, but the killing of thousands of Japanese children, of Japanese women, of Japanese men who fought for their country, regardless of whether the Japanese emperor was able to continue in the war or not. He still would have surrendered if even President Harry Truman cared enough to deploy those troops. You know that, and I know that, and you know that.
Alright, calm down there.
Yeah,
Japan,
calm down.
Japan was warned. Prior to the bombing, Japan was warned through leaflets dropped by the
Yeah,
United
leaflets. How the hell are we supposed to read those
Hey.
leaflets?
Hey! Keep it down.
Everybody needs to quiet
Stop
down.
cutting me off.
No need for cutoffs.
There's no
Guys,
need for this, guys.
Be respectful for one another.
Men for others.
As I was saying,
Bogus.
they were warned through leaflets dropped by the United States. They would face complete and utter destruction if they did not surrender.
And how many times did you drop those leaflets? You dropped them several times. And on
We
the
told
very
you to
last
stop
Hey,
day.
Sir,
hey,
sir,
hey,
sir.
hey,
We're gonna-
hey.
Shut up!
Sir, calm down.
Get security!
Calm down,
Security!
sir. It's
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be
My
okay.
turn.
It's gonna
I'm
be okay.
sorry.
Get your
It's
turn.
gonna be okay.
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
wait for your turn to speak. Wait for your turn to speak.
I'm sorry.
Are we good now?
All
We're
right.
good?
Yes,
Keep
sir.
going.
As I was saying, we warned them. However, Japan refused to surrender, leading to them being bombed.
You know what, Mr. Alsir? Your point is bogus.
Oh, really?
I'll explain why when it gets to my turn.
All right, let me finish.
Continue
then.
on with your shenanigans and
I'm
tomfoolery.
tired of you. My last argument is the bombings led to Japan's surrender. It worked. It literally worked.
It worked because you killed us!
Well, you guys want to surrender any other way? All right. The bombings were the catalyst of Japan's surrender, which ended the war, saved millions of lives.
Yeah, according to what statistic? Wikipedia.com?
All right. We got primary sources, bud.
Yeah, let me hear them, bud, because President Harry Truman, my apologies, I'm a foreigner. President Harry Truman was known for pushing his own agenda on the civilians of Japan, on the civilians of the United States, and was known for pushing his own agenda to approve of the things that he did, which continued with the lives of 250,000 Japanese civilians dying at the cost of the little boy and the fat boy bomb. Do you think that was justified, Mr. Alseer?
It definitely
You think this
was.
is comical that my people died because you thought that it was smarter to drop an explosive device that would cause cancer, that would eviscerate and evaporate children, women, and men who served their country that didn't want to fight? All they wanted to do was finish the war.
All right, calm down there. As I said, they were warned, and they refused to surrender.
Warned several times.
Hey!
I'm sorry. It's just bogus.
All right. Well, that's it for my part. Let's see what you got to say.
Thank you.
Now, after that very controversial debate of many interruptions, many yelling, many physical altercations, we're going to be going over Spencer Bloka's part now.
Thank you, Jaylen Brown. Now, let's go over some logical points on why murdering 250,000 civilians was not good.
It was logical.
We'll see about that. So first of all, first point, the bombs were unnecessary.
Unnecessary? They literally wouldn't
You
give
killed
up.
250,000 people!
Sir!
And if what if we
I'm sorry,
did?
I'm sorry.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Grr.
I'm going to need you to calm down, sir. One more outburst like that, and you're out of here.
I'm sorry. I just got...
a bit of an
I'm
altercation.
a big Japanese nationalist. Many argue that the bombs were unnecessary. However, Japan was already on the verge of surrendering, with the addition that Germany was pushed down to their limits in Berlin, with Soviets, Americans, French, UK, all nations in Europe were allying against them and inside the city limits of Berlin, the strongest ally to Japan. So, wouldn't it be logical that Japan was already on the verge of surrendering and this was all simply just bluff from the Japanese emperor? If a single American troop was deployed on the soil of Japan, it would instantly be the white flag from Japan.
All right. Hold up.
Silence!
Let me stop you there.
Sir, it's
First-
his turn. It's his turn.
Hey, let him talk.
First of
Let him
all,
talk.
the Japanese, they kept fighting till they were about to die. They fought till they had 2 people left.
No American soldier was deployed on Japanese land and threatened the emperor of his throne in order for the surrender. However, with Germany, Adolf Hitler was brought all the way found hidden inside of his bunker from Soviet troops. Now, riddle me this. How come the Japanese emperor was sitting snug as a bug in a rug on his throne without a single interruption from American troops? Riddle me that. You know why? Because Harry Truman wanted an excuse to test those nuclear bombs, and that ended in the death of a quarter
That's
of a
not
million
true.
troops.
Hey, that's not true.
You
The
know,
Jap-
you know damn well.
Hey, stop touching him. Stop touching him. Stop touching
Yeah,
him.
silly
All right.
Stop touching
okay,
him.
I'm done.
You know damn well that Harry Truman wanted to test that nuke, and that if he didn't test that nuke, that it would have been a waste of American money. And we were just simply coming out of a depression, and civilians were scared of re-entering a depression after the war. If you look at pre-war and post-war statistics, the amount of jobs that were included through the war was brought through the roof.
First of all,
So the production
hey,
of the
hey,
nuclear-
hey. First of all, the Japanese, they're all about their honor. They weren't gonna give up. They're never gonna give up. They're gonna keep fighting till there's none left. We had to save their lives too. It's for them too.
So you killed them.
So yes, we had to, or millions more would have died.
You know
Or would
what?
have never ended.
That's a fair point.
Wow.
My nation has a ton of honor in our fighting. But what does that say about the women and the children that you murdered, that you killed, that you excommunicated, that you exiled from the possibility of having a proper life that they could have grown for?
If we didn't kill them, how much more would have died? They would have kept fighting. Many more children would have died.
We had no more manpower to continue the fighting.
I'm tired of you. Ugh.
Hey, sir, get out of here. Get out of here.
We'll be right back. Ad break.
Have you ever wanted to stop an atomic bombing?
Only you
to prevent atomic bombs?
Now, we are back with the debates of all debates, with Alcir Al-Sheikh and Spencer Paloka. After an ad break, after our previous physical altercation, Spencer, how you feeling?
I ate that.
All right. So we're going to continue on with our debate today, and we're going to be starting off the floor with you, Spencer.
So the bombs caused immense suffering.
Yeah.
The
it's worth
atom-
it.
The atomic bombs caused immense suffering and long-lasting effects on the people of Japan, including radiation, sickness, cancer, and birth defects.
How much more would have died? How much more?
Okay, imagine having your bundle of joy.
You know what?
Just...
You know what?
No!
Sir, what did we say? Guys, can we actually get back to our debate, or do you guys want to just keep fighting all the time?
No, I got it.
So now we're going to get back to this debate. You guys need to lock in, and we need to get this debate going.
So, after that ad break, because my interviewer here feels as if it's necessary to cause violence, like the rest of the United States, bombing my people. No wonder you like punching so much. We went on the topic of having your little bundle of joy that you just birthed, your little baby boy. Imagine him being birthed with a third arm, because the United States decided to drop a little leaf pamphlet that said that we were going to drop a ton of nukes straight on your house, on your little humble abode that was reduced to atoms. And imagine that you were pregnant during that time and that your little bundle of joy was grown at the third arm. Mr. Alcir, can you also tell me some of the other things that the radiating nuclear bomb can cause?
Caused a lot of burns, lifetime sicknesses, cancer. It was bad, but like imagine what would have happened if we didn't do it. More deaths, more child's dead, homes gone, everything. It would have been worse. It would have been worse.
250,000 soldiers would have died on a landing on a beach in Japan? What do you think the chances of that are? What do you think 250,000 soldiers dying on a beach on Japan is? Given that World War II was already on the verge of ending, you furthermore go into the idea that the stocks and supply that Japan was currently given, since their major ally Germany had already lost during the war, that they were being pushed back all the way in Berlin. They had absolutely no way to assist Japan. Meaning that Japan, being a very poor industrialist country at the time, did not have the ability to produce enough weapons, enough tanks, enough ammo, or do this all you want. Do this all you want. But they did not have enough resources to keep up a fight against one of the biggest, one of the greatest, and one of the most industrialist country in the entire world, without a doubt. You think that Japan would have been able to keep up with that at the end of the war after they have been completely obliterated in every single field?
They weren't gonna give up. They had too much honor. Much pride. They wouldn't give up.
So do you think a U.S. soldier with an M1 Grand rifle would win a battle against a Japanese soldier with a piece of steel?
It's not the fact that they would win or lose. It's that they would just it doesn't make sense to attack somebody to bring a sword to a gunfight.
Oh, so you're saying
But they have too much honor.
So you're saying Japanese lives don't matter?
No, I'm saying we had to do it to stop them.
So
Because they would have kept doing it till they're all dead.
You're
we had to.
You're saying that you would have preferred 250,000 Japanese people dying over a mere amount of maybe 50,000 Japanese people? Harry Truman is a liar. He's a conspiracy and he's a liar. He does not know what he's talking about. Japanese was in no way, the Japanese Empire was in absolutely no way able to fight against the biggest, against the most industrialist, powerful country in the entire world. You have to be absolutely bonkers to say such.
Whatever, man. Just move on to your next topic.
Moving on to my next topic, my most important topic, the bombings violated international law. So simply what you're saying by this, without me even reading what's on the teleprompter right now, you're simply saying that the bombs that dropped on 250,000 civilians was justified. However, by your own international law that you helped make, that was justified. That was okay. That was nice.
It was like it was not a violation of the international laws.
So the
Like,
United States
we
is going
had
to bully everyone else out of the way for the sake that the law that they made, the international law that they helped assist in making after World War I. You're going to say that was just didn't exist? That the United States is above the law?
No, it was for everybody. We did it for everybody. We're supposed to look after them. We helped them out.
everybody. Let's.
If we didn't
let's
do it,
nuke the
more people would've died.
Let's nuke the innocent ladies. Let's nuke the innocent little boys. Let's nuke all of them. You're just saying that's okay? A little boy who might have had a future in the United States. A little boy who might have had a future in Germany. A little boy who might have had a future in France. In Japan was nuked.
Imagine all the little boys who wouldn't have a future if we didn't finish the war. What would have happened? They would have died. They would all die.
And you're saying little boys are enlisted into the military? are enlisted in the military?
No, but like the war was gonna keep going. It doesn't just stay in one place. It
Oh
goes,
yeah,
destroys their
let's
homes,
enlist
destroys
children in the
everything.
military. So yeah, how about Japan just enlisted children in the military? Because you know what, they would have
probably
died. They
would've.
would have died anyways.
They probably would have. Like they had too much honor. They would probably put kids to fight. All right, let's
the
wrap
Japanese
this up.
people fight for their country.
You're talking chap, yap.
The use of the atomic bomb was clearly a violation of international law and the laws of war that were made during World War I to prevent things like gas being made. This was called the Geneva Convention. The Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907 prohibited the use of poison or poisoned weapons, and the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki most clearly violated these conventions.
It had to be done. They wouldn't stop fighting. They wouldn't give up. More people were gonna die. It was the only thing we could think of. We had to end the war. More people would have died.
Don't credit me for the Geneva Convention. I'm pretty sure it was the Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907. So that's my apologies for my lack of information on this topic. But it simply just gets me so stressed that I have to completely think about the person that I'm talking to, the person that thinks that it's okay to nuke 250,000 innocent men, children, and women.
All right, it was worth. We had to do it. People were gonna die. More people than got bombed. It must have been done. We had to end the war.
You know what? If Harry Truman says it must be right. Because that's the idea that you're giving me.
Well, that's all. That's all for today, guys. Wrap it up. Let's go. Any last words?
Yeah, you disgust me.
Yeah, all right. To show you.
No.